The year is 2002. The New England Patriots just defeated the St. Louis Rams in the Super Bowl. David Carr just got selected number one overall to the newly expanded team, the Houston Texans, and Cleveland just made the playoffs for what would be the final time until 2021. Hi, my name is JMac Gaming, and welcome to a brand new project I've been so excited to finally start working on. It is my Madden 20 franchise mode, but using and going back to the 2002 rosters and starting from there and going until prior our current time right now. This is something I've been wanting to do for about a year now, since this roster was put out, and I've been going through it on my own, and I've been like thinking, why not make a series on it? Why not show rewrite history in the NFL, what it is today? Let's rewrite it, and let's start in 2002. The last team in the NFL to be expanded, the last expansion team in the NFL, the Houston Texans. So why not? You're leading up to the 2003 NFL Draft with Carson Palmer leading the way, and guys like Larry Fitzgerald, or not Fitzgerald, Andre Johnson coming out of Miami, Charles Rogers, Troy Polamalu in '03. So this is a huge time, and we can look at the top. We can look at each roster later, but we can look at the teams and the top three guys in Chicago. You got Brian Urlacher, Mike Brown. In Cincinnati, Corey Dillon, Chad Johnson, otherwise known as Chad Ochocinco. Buffalo, they got Eric Moulds, London Fletcher, Drew Bledsoe, a decent Buffalo team over there. Rod Smith, Shannon Sharp, Tom Nalen over there in Denver. Cleveland, like I just said, just made the playoffs for the final time this season, or the season prior. They're led by Tim Couch, but they really don't have any big names over there. Tampa Bay in real life in 2002, 2003 won the Super Bowl, beat Oakland in the Super Bowl, led by Brad Johnson, and you can see Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, Darren Sapp, Simeon Rice. This team was absolutely stacked. Arizona, led by Adrian Wilson, Pete Kendall, Jake Plummer was the quarterback at that point. LA, the Chargers, Junior Seau, young LaDainian Tomlinson, Rodney Harrison, young Drew Brees is there. Kansas City, you got Priest Holmes, you got Tony Gonzalez, Will Shields is there. Dante Hall's probably there. Dante Hall's not a really big name superstar, but one of the best kick returners of all time. Quarterback by Trent Green over there. Indianapolis, look at those three names right there. Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne. Just the offense is there. They don't really have a defense at that time. Dallas, you just lost Troy Aikman the year prior. Emmitt Smith there. Darren Woodson, Larry Allen. Dallas needs some help. America's team needs some help. Miami, Chris Carter, Ricky Williams, Jason Taylor. The team's good. The team's, besides Chris Carter, young. Can they make a name for themselves? Philly, Donovan McNabb and Brian Dawkins, two dominant players right there. Can they do something? Atlanta, led by Keith Brooking and Michael Vick. Michael Vick in this is unbelievable. San Francisco, you got T.O. and Jeff Garcia. Really, San Francisco, you see a 78 overall, but other than that, will they do anything? We'll see. New York Giants, Michael Strahan, Tiki Barber, Kerry Collins. That's it. You're not going to see much from the Giants year one. Speaking of not seeing much in year one, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jimmy Smith and Fred Taylor. I don't know why Fred Taylor pops in there twice, but we're going to find out. It doesn't really affect anything. He pops in, like it shows in the stat line he's there, but they don't have, it doesn't account for their salary. It doesn't count against their salary cap. There's not an extra player. It just shows up twice for some reason. I think there's a couple guys in this roster that does that. The Jets, led by Curtis Martin, John Abraham, Chad Pennington's the quarterback. They're all right. Chad Pennington sometimes turns out really good in these sims, so I don't really know what's going on with that. The Lions, Sean Rogers and no one else. Their quarterback, they have a quarterback dilemma in Detroit. They either go with Mike McMahon or the Ooh, number 2 or number 3 overall pick from Oregon, Joey Harrington. What he'll be. Green Bay, Brett Favre, Darren Sharper, Ahmed Green. Green Bay, always a dominant team. Carolina, you got Steve Smith, Chris Jenkins, Dan Morgan. In 05, they go to the 04, 05, they go to the Super Bowl, led by Jake Delhomme. But Jake Delhomme's not there. They're led by Rodney Peete in this one. New England, Tom Brady, young Tom Brady, Ty Law, Lawyer Mahoy, Deion Branch is over there. That's a good team. Speaking of good teams, the Super Bowl runner-up in real life at this time, Rod Woodson, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, Rich Gannon. The list goes on. Oakland, a dominant team. But in this, it's an old team, so the team kind of might blow up after year one. So we'll see if they can go to the Super Bowl year one. LA Rams, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Orlando Pace, Kurt Warner. Their big dilemma in LA is their quarterback situation. You're led by Kurt Warner, but you have a young and up-and-coming Mark Bulger in the backup who can start on most teams. So we'll see what they do in LA. Baltimore, led by Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Chris McAllister, a very dominant team in Baltimore defensively. Can they get anything going on offense? Led by Chester Taylor and Jamal Lewis. So we'll see how that goes. Washington, Champ Bailey, Bruce Smith, Chris Samuels. Defensively you got Bruce Smith and Champ Bailey, but Bruce, he's old. They don't really have an offense. We'll see how they go. New Orleans, led by Joe Horn and Deuce McAllister. Not really much going there. That's a very mediocre team in this timeline. Seattle, John Randall, Sean Alexander, Walter Jones, Matt Hasselbeck's there. It's a good team in Seattle. Pittsburgh, this is before Big Ben over there. So they got Bettis, Joey Porter, Hines Ward, the quarterback at this time, Cordell Stewart, Tommy Maddox. They're a good team, but 2 years from now in real life, they get Big Ben. Will that happen? Will they still be a good team in 04 when that draft of Eli, Big Ben, and Phillip comes around? Will they get a quarterback, or will they be rolling with Cordell Stewart and Tommy Maddox at that point? We'll see. That new expansion team of Houston, Aaron Glenn, Jamie Sharper, Gary Walker. I thought about being these guys. Their expansion team. It'd be cool to beat them, but we'll see. We'll see. Tennessee, Steve McNair, Eddie George, Keith Bullock, a very good team. McNair, one of the best of all times. Rest in peace. The Tennessee team's a very dangerous team with that quarterback and running back combo, and wide receiver Randy Moss leads Minnesota. I always like playing around with this roster and the play now and being Minnesota, because Randy and Dante Culpepper, very dominant 1-2 punch. So I guess for old time's sake, we'll be Detroit. So let's look at the rosters real quick and see who we got here in Detroit. Our quarterback situation is very not good. Let's go through this tutorial gimmick. Oh, we don't have any. We have our starting quarterback going into this year, rookie Joey Harrington from Oregon, 6'4", 220. He's got some power and he's got some short accuracy, but other than that, he's gonna be a project. Behind him is 1-year player from Rutgers, Mcmahon. They're both the same age. That's the thing. And Mcmahon's got some speed. So if we wanted to go McMahon and we want to go a scrambler, we could. But we also have one of the higher draft picks in last year's draft, Joey Harrington. Our running back situation, James Stewart. He's 77. So when I said we didn't have a run game, we kind of do. 6'1", 224, elusive back. Wow. Okay. All right. He's got 79. Okay, whatever game. But he's 30, and in this game, 30-year-old running backs will regress quickly. Lamont Warren behind him. We got Avion Kason, Huntley, and Cooper behind him. The fullbacks. They won't be around that long. Wide receivers. This is not good right here. We have Bill Schroeder, 31-year-old wide receiver from Wisconsin, Oshkosh. All right. As Zahir Hakeem. He's there. He's a 25-year-old, 65. We got Desmond Howard, the legend from Michigan University. Jermaine Crowell, Eddie Drummond, Scotty Anderson, and Larry Foster. Tight end wise, Michael Ricks, I call him Michael. Bradford Banta, Matt Murphy, and John Owens, the 2 rookies down there. Our starting offensive line, Jeff Backus, Tony Semple, Dominic Raiola, Ray Brown, a superstar, but he's 39. He'll probably retire after this year. And Stakar McDougal. When I say we need to rebuild this team and we don't have a spot that we don't need to rebuild, don't need to improve on, that's pretty spot on. This team is not good. Left end, James Hall and Antoine Lake. Right end, Robert Porcher and Kalimba Edwards. I've seen Kalimba get really good, so we'll see what we do with Kalimba and Robert Porcher after this year. Who knows? Robert Porcher is 33, so he will regress. He's a superstar as well. I don't know why I keep saying what we'll do. I'm going like I handle contracts. I don't. D tackle Luther Ellis and Sean Rogers. I think Sean Rogers, for some reason, has a lot of after week 1 or week 2, he gets so much development points. It's crazy. Like look at his XP. He's got 71,000 XP out of 4,000. So he will develop really quick. Richard Jordan and Dante Curry are our left outside linebackers, followed by in the middle we got Claiborne, as pre-mentioned, and Cree Walt, and our right outside linebacker Captain Barrett Green from West Virginia, backed up by Gooch and Williams. Our cornerbacks very light, and I'm not speaking Todd Light. I'm talking about our depth. We got Goodman Greer and Chris Cash, the rookie from USC. Safeties, they're old. Brian Walker, Eric Davis, and Corey Harris and Bracey Walker. Kicker, any Lions fan knows, Jason Hanson and John Jett. We will get through the preseason in this intro episode, and then we'll get through the season after that. Coach Mack, this is Ray Brown, our right guard, the 39-year-old captain. Coach Mack, before we get too far in the preseason, I just wanted to offer my 2 cents. I think we should get our rookies as much playing time this preseason, especially if they have a hidden development trait. I don't think any of our rookies do. We can ask about it. We can figure this out. Development traits represent a player's potential. If you check out the roster menu and open our player cards, you'll see that everyone on our team is labeled normal, star, superstar, or X Factor. That's an indicator of our potential. But a particularly talented rookie will have a hidden dev trait. We know that they're going to be good, but we won't know how good until they play 100 downs of football. So it's important to get this guy a lot of playing time, especially in preseason. Absolutely. What else does a dev trait do? The better the player's dev trait, the more he'll benefit from his time in training and playing in games. That means he's going to reach his potential a lot quicker than guys with lower dev traits. So the better the dev trait, the faster they progress, faster they get better, the more XP they get. And if a player has the superstar or X Factor dev trait, it means he brings a little something extra to the game. He can do things on the field that no one else can. Can a dev trait improve over time? Yes, definitely. If a guy plays on an elite level all year, there's a good chance his dev trait will improve. And yes, that does happen. I don't know what kicks it in, but I know leading or being a top superstar in the league stat-wise will get you a dev trait. And once in a while, after a player has a great game, he'll have an opportunity to improve his dev trait mid-season. And if he succeeds, it can change the trajectory of his whole career. Dev traits are that powerful. Okay, Ray, I appreciate your insight. Thank you. So our right guard, Ray Brown, telling us and teaching us about dev traits and all that stuff. So we can go to our upgrade players, and I can show you. Let's auto. We can upgrade that. We can go. We can jump around to week 2. We're gonna cut some players after that. So okay. So we can go to our Sean Rogers here. 15 dev points, by the way. So we can just make him a dominant superstar right off the bat. All right, O-line mentorship. So this is probably Ray Brown again. Coach, you know Josh Lovelady, the backup right guard, that big rookie we signed a while back. I've been very impressed with him recently, especially this last week. I think with a little guidance, he can improve. He can be a difference maker for our line. Let me show him the ropes a little. I can help him work on his pass blocking, unless you could think he could use some pointers on run blocking. So we can have Ray Brown teach and help out Lovelady to get some attribute points on pass blocking and run blocking. So we're gonna be. I'd love to be a better passing team with Harrington and McMahon under guard. So I'm all for the idea. Let's work on his pass blocking. The safer we can keep our quarterback, the better. any specific aspect of pass blocking. Power will help him block against power rush moves like the rip. He'll need finesse for quicker pass rush moves like the spin or swim. I think we'll go power here. So that, okay. So thank you, Ray Brown. Josh Lovelady receives 3 pass block power. All right, sick. Good job, Ray Brown. We can go back to our team schedule, and we can look at the box score here. Somehow, hey, we beat New England 31-9 in the preseason. We can look at some guys. Mike McMahon. Oh, wow, Mike McMahon. The backup came in. Obviously, the starters aren't going to play a lot, so Harrington 5 for 6 for 75 yards. How many? Too much. I don't. There's too much going on right there. But then Mike McMahon 15 for 20 on with 3 touchdowns for 161 yards. Okay, McMahon making his case known. Making his case known. Lamont Warren 20 rushes for 54 yards on a 2.7. Stewart got himself a touchdown. Anything else? 2 touchdowns to Jermaine Corral, the 4-year player out of Virginia. Anyone else get that? Who got that last touchdown for Detroit? Lamont Warren. So Lamont Warren had a decent game. 54 yards on the ground, 9 in the air with 1 touchdown. Any defense? I saw Rodney Pete threw some picks. So we'll see. We got 3 sacks. Queerwalt, Curry, and James Hall. The picks went to Eric Davis and Todd Light. So we will see. Actually, Hanson invented there. I just thought of this right here. While looking at Todd Light, we didn't go after any free agents, so they probably left. They probably got signed. So we can look. Let's see. I think the good ones go to the bottom because they were better. So Deion went to Chicago. Deion Sanders goes to Chicago. That's big for Chicago. That helps out with like Urlacher and Brown. A very good defense getting better. Ricky Waters to Houston. Jamal Anderson to Cleveland. And did Cunningham get signed? Dallas signed Randall Cunningham to a 1-year, $18 million contract. Now, if we go to Dallas, their quarterback situation was Quincy Carter and rookie Chad Hutchinson before this. So that was a very necessary signing for them. They don't have any wide receivers. They got rookie Antonio Bryant and Galloway, maybe. Ooh, yeah. Quarterbacks or tight ends. This was before Jason Witten. So Emmitt Smith. Yeah, oof. This Dallas team's not good. We can move on to this next game. We can look at we lose. We can look at the mentorship later. We can look at what happened with Houston. We lose 31-17 here. Tony Banks and David Carr, the first overall pick, gets a touchdown on us, 11 for 16. So again, Harrington and McMahon, both are solid options. But David Carr, two rushing touchdowns for himself. Bill Schroeder had both touchdowns for us. And Waters. Yeah, Waters' first game, I guess. 52 yards on 16 attempts. So we take on the Bills and we take on Cleveland to end. We can look at this mentorship. I think it's probably Wade Brown again with Lovelady. Yep. Did you see how well Josh Lovelady held up in pass protection? He was all over his blitz alerts, and I don't think he gave up a single sack. If he keeps getting better, he's going to be a fixture on this offensive line. Well, he's going to have to be. Ray Brown, you're almost 40. You're about to retire. He is going to be our starting right guard next year if we don't draft one. He got 3 awareness for that game, too. So we move on, and we get a win. Wow, let's look at I saw there's some cuts going on. I didn't even realize that. We can look at some people getting cut right before. So Harrington, the starting quarterback, wow, he did very well. 278 on 21 for 28, 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Stewart had a good game. Lamont Warren. And Bill Schroeder, Howard, and Akeem. So that was very good. We can look at some cuts around the league before we get to the last one. Patrick Hape. We could just go to free agency, actually. Anyone. John Ritchie, John Casey. Nothing really. Zach Crockett was a decent fullback in real life. Nothing really. Quarterback-wise, Jeff George, so nothing really. And we can go to cut players. The last thing we need to do. So it's recommending us to get rid of Foster or Anderson. Let's look. Wow, did they really Lamont Warren? He's 29, but jeez. We can look at quarterbacks. We only have 2, so we're gonna keep 2. We have 5 running backs. So Ralphiel Cooper, you're going to the practice squad. That's 1 of 5. We can cut Stephen Trejo. We don't need 2 fullbacks. Oh, we do have. Oh wow, look at this, guys! A hidden development with Eddie Drummond. Now, Eddie Drummond didn't really do much in real life. He was a kick returner for most of his time here in Detroit. But look, he's got some hidden development, so he could be a star. He could be someone we can build around this team. So we got to keep him. What is it? 7 wide receivers. So Foster or Anderson. Who did better in nothing? Did you do anything? Larry Foster, nothing. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So let's get rid of 26. And we can get him out of there. Tight end, we're good. Oh, 4 tight ends, we don't need you. So they're both rookies. Let's get rid of Bradford Banta. He's too old. And then one more player. Lovelady's a 62. That's good for him. Left end, we're good. Right end, 3's fine. 4 D tackles. We can get rid of Kershke. And we can move on to week 1. We will take on Arizona. We can look at this last box result. And we can decide who can start for our team in week 1. Another win. Can I not look at the box score in the preseason after that? Wow. Okay. I guess we're not going to. I didn't know that was a thing. Wow. You really can't look at a box score in the preseason. After the preseason. That's frustrating. We can maybe get something out of the news. Schroeder had another 2 touchdowns. Schroeder, very good. All right, so we can let's set the season goal. I think we're only gonna get 4 wins, maybe. I think we're gonna be a bad team all year. And then let's look around the league. Let's look at the top players in the league. No 99s, but we got Champ Bailey, Randy Moss, Tony Gonzalez, Terrell Owens, and Marvin Harrison all at a 98. T.O. with 90, or Randy with 99 speed is going to be dangerous, especially because he's in our division. We'll play him twice. Charles Woodson, Ty Law, Brian Dawkins, Ray Lewis, Mike Brown. Let's look at the quarterbacks. Brett Favre, he's the best quarterback right now, rating-wise, followed by McNabb, Manning, Gannon, Vick, McNair, Bledsoe, and Warner. McNair's hurt. Steve McNair, fractured elbow, out for the first half of the year. Ooh. And like I said in the Rams, because I just went, they got Mark Bulger. I mean, 25 at 79 overall. Maybe he won't make it, but we'll see. All right, well, this will be the stopping point of episode 1. If you guys are interested, leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to do this, if you want to see this series on stream, live on Twitch, once a week or twice a week, let me know. If not, I can upload these and record these pretty regularly for right now. But if you guys are excited, I know I am. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you for episode 2, where we take on Arizona, the Chargers, the Eagles, and the Chiefs. See you.